As of this recording, most in the cannabis industry would agree we are in the Runtz era. But who or what is behind the rise of Runtz? Which group propelled Runtz to massive cultural relevance throughout the US and beyond? Well, that would be Jokes Up. And Jokes Up is a collective of individuals led by rapper/entrepreneur Young LB and his manager Raybama, as well as a number of others that we'll talk about in this episode. We will talk about Berner and Cookie's role in Runtz, and we'll also explain who actually created the Runtz strain. My name is LMC. Welcome to High Design. In this episode, we will tell you the stories and analyze the business and marketing strategies of the Runtz brand and the individuals that make up the Jokes Up leadership. Runtz in a lot of ways is a movement, and with any movement, things can get complicated. But trust me, you're not going to want to miss this one. Make sure you subscribe to the LMC and High Design YouTube channels. And stay frosty. This is the United Runtz of America mini documentary, powered by HD. Before we get into this episode, I want to say that if you want to support this series, you can go to www.lmc.news/lmc-apparel and cop some High Design apparel and clothing. All of the support really helps and allows me to do episodes like this. So for this episode, we're going to mainly follow the CEO of Jokes Up, that being Young LB. Young LB is from Long Beach, California, and while his family is originally from the Kingdom of Tonga, a Polynesian country. It seems that Young LB started to rap 10 plus years ago while living in Long Beach, but eventually would move up to the Bay Area where he would link up with his future manager, Raybama. And he'd also get to know people like Berner.
Which I don't even know. Berner was coming to the house, the mini mansion in 08, 09. I've been seeing him before drought season 1 even dropped. You feel me? Straight up like that. When he was working at the cannabis club, we was pulling up and Jack was rolling up them jackhammers at his shit. Feel me? When it was a bartender shit. Yeah, deep history with this shit. You feel me? This cookie boy shit ain't tatted on me for no reason, man. You feel me? Straight up, hen know. You know what I mean? The whole mob know. We was seeing niggas before this shit even kicked off. That's why I'm so proud of Bern. You feel me? What he doing? That shit's the biggest shit ever. Ain't no nigga, you know who to connect is out here on the West Coast. Period. Feel me? Cookie boys. Nigga, yeah. You feel me? Like, yeah, shout out to Bern. Feel me? Chris Grimes, the whole Cookie fam. My big bruh, you know what I mean? My manager, Raybama. Yeah, you know how we rockin'? Hold on, let me give you a pose. Cookie boy shit, yeah. Let me see that cookie, let me see that bag, Jern.
So Raybama and Young LB, eventually they would link up with Nick, and this is where the story of Runtz begins. So Nick is actually the creator of the Runtz strain, right? He hunted it from seed, and just for people that aren't aware, the Runtz strain is a cross between Skittles and Gelato 33. Apparently, Nick was in San Francisco buying Skittles cuts from an Asian grower that didn't speak English, and he told Nick in broken English that he had Skittles seeds. So the Asian grower gave them to Nick, who then did a pheno hunt with his friend Miles, and that, my friends, is where the Runtz strain actually came from. So the Runtz strain was created by Nick sometime before 2017. According to Cookies, Runtz came from the Runtz crew of Ray, Nick, and Young LB by 2017. And all three of them were original Cookies boys. They've always been, hyping the Cookies brand and been big fans of it. So LB, Ray, and Nick used the recipe Berner spoke about to build their own platform to launch Runtz, says the company Cookies. The credibility that the Runtz crew had due to their connection with Berner helped to give them a foothold in cannabis, entertainment, and fashion. In 2018, when California's recreational market opened up, Berner and Cookies Cannabis would buy 50% of the Runtz brand. But why did Berner want to do this? Well, in a Leafly article for the 2020 strain of the year, Berner said, quote, "I knew Runtz would work. One of the owners, Ray, came up around me and he understands the recipe that makes cookies." Runtz crew co-leader, rapper Young LB, puts in lots of time on the road and in the studios. We're campaigning and hard work, dedication, and solid marketing created a crazy wave, end quote. So when someone is running for president, they travel the country campaigning for why they should get your vote. The term ground game in politics typically refers to a candidate's local support / infrastructure. A presidential candidate can go from state to state, and when they arrive, there are campaign staff and volunteers typically led by local leaders. Now, as you guys can see what Berner's saying in that quote, right, running a campaign. So there's a ground game that young LB and his team actually had truly mastered. And while LB wasn't running for president, and instead of him trying to get voted into office, he got votes for the Runtz strain, figuratively speaking. Campaigning for your strain or genetics means you need to be traveling from state to state for a certain time period promoting your flavors. A politician pays for the expenses of travel via campaign contributions, but how can you afford promotional tours across the United States? Well, rappers go on tour, and rappers when on tour typically look to link up with people from different communities they travel to. Instead of town halls and rallies, there's show venues and recording studios. In 2008, we saw Barack Obama lead a masterful presidential campaign and coming out of nowhere to win the presidential election. 8 to 9 years later, we saw LB and his team run a campaign in the streets that would lead into the current era we're in now, the Runtz era. Also, I think that Berner definitely showcased this use of touring around the country to network and, create new opportunities for cookies as well. But being on the road and running a campaign in the streets is without a doubt a major contributing factor to the success of the Runtz strain and brand, like I mentioned earlier. Referencing back to that Leafly article for 2020 Strain of the Year, where Berner talks about how cookies and Runtz actually have a very, very similar business model. Both cookies and Runtz are brands that their actual names originate from very, very, very popular strains. Both brands have successful clothing brands, and both brands leverage music as a marketing tool to promote their brand's clothing and cannabis. But that's not to say that cookies and Runtz have been identical in their approaches to marketing their brands. While yes, both Berner and Young LB leverage their music to promote the brand, I think where we start to see a difference is that Berner has a much more individual promotion style for cookies, whereas Young LB has a much more group-orientated promotion style of Runtz. Both styles worked out great, but by using the individual versus group lens as a framework, we can start to find some differences between the two styles.
2 days, 1 pass, 50 guys, Runtz gang, yes sir. Hey, 2 days, 1 pass, 50 guys, Runtz gang, yeah. 1 pass. 2 days, 1 pass, 50 guys, Runtz gang, yeah.
Nah, when you in our backyard, jokes up, you see what's going on?
The DTB show.
Runtz your life up.
That's just where it started, you feel me? But it's a West Coast wear, you feel me? Everybody can rock that. Even you niggas on the East Coast, you feel me? The west side of New York niggas can rock this, you feel me? But it just started out.
When we look at the majority of Young LB's music videos, he has an entire crew with him in almost all of the videos, like in the famous song, Runtz Your Life Up. If you look at the majority of Berner's music videos, he's typically with very few people. Now, I bring this point up to highlight that Young LB or Raybama or whoever in their camp has pushed to almost assign new strains to associated rappers to be the main brand promoter of that strain. So for example, when White Runtz came out, rapper and Jokes Up member Dollas Up Nero became Mr. White Runtz. Or how about you just hear them talk about it?
What's up, man? My name Nero, Mr. White Runtz, you know.
Oh, so you?
Yeah, when you fuck with Runtz, it's more than blunts. I'm one of them. I'm one of the spokesmen, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of the real team members.
So, alright, Mr. Walker?
Yeah,
Chili Wonka? Okay. So, as far as the Runtz, who all is involved in the whole Runtz gang? Like, cause he White Runtz, so is he the curator of White Runtz, is what he's saying, or?
Yeah, he White Runtz.
So he White Runtz, and then, is Pink Runtz here?
Pink Runtz is not here.
Pink Runtz not here?
Yeah.
How many different Runtz is it?
We got Peach Cobbler here.
Peach here?
Peach
That's
cobbler.
Runts. Is peach cobbler Runts or peach cobbler just?
Peach cobbler is Runts.
Period.
It's from anything with the Runts stamp on it, the jokes up. That's our. You feel me? That's our.
Oh, so if it say jokes up, is Runts.
Yeah, that's our family.
Okay.
So, peach cobbler here, shark gelato here, the shark bakery here,
That's all Runts.
Zowers here,
Zowers is crack.
Trolley's here. Ether is not here. That's two. Yeah.
So who like started Runts, like period, like the whole thing?
Me and my business partner.
Straight. How long y'all been doing it?
A year and a half or something like that. Not even. Probably a year and a half.
And my question is this: where the fuck the Runts come from? What strands did y'all put together to fuck around and make this shit?
Gelato, 33, and Skittles.
Damn. It came with the
And came with the woo-wop.
woo-wop.
And came, here come Lil Runts.
Now this is my question, because I feel like y'all was the niggas that did it.
Nah,
Like-
shout out to Berner. Berner did it.
Well, Berner did it, but okay, so
Berner's cookies. He was a big.
right, Berner's cookies, but how the fuck? What I'm trying to figure out is, Runts is the shit, bro. So that like Runts took over, like that's the biggest shit right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So as far as those organic strands, you know what I'm saying? That niggas paying 100 for an eighth and all that type of shit. Runts is the motherfuckers.
Honestly, when I think about this strategy of pairing new strains or flavors with rappers either part of or affiliated with Jokes Up, I'm actually super impressed. This is a pretty fucking smart idea. Why? Well, because you're killing 3 birds with 1 stone. So it creates 2 sub-brands and adds to another. Entertainers are brands in themselves, so building a music career is building a personal brand. And it serves as the perfect vehicle to promote the second brand, that being the cannabis strain / genetics. So think about how rappers typically have multiple names. For example, Drake's different names like Drizzy or Champagne Poppy. What if at the start of his career, Drake had his own type of champagne called Drizzy that he ended up promoting throughout his entire career? I guarantee you that that champagne brand would be worth millions of dollars today. But guess what? Instead, Drake waited till 2019 to invest into an already poppin' champagne company, that being Mod Selection Champagne. And I'm sure he had to pay a pretty penny. Yeah, that seriously happened. When he could have started his own and let the brand grow alongside his career. Hell, the distribution and details of Drizzy Champagne could have been handled by YMCMB, or for those who don't know, that's his former record label, Young Money Cash Money Records. But of course that didn't happen. But that strategy that I just highlighted is being utilized by Jokes Up. And this is where I think Young LB and his partners, that are owners of Jokes Up, are fucking brilliant. In many ways, they have been using the popularity of Runts, the brand and strain, to create tons and tons of different sub-brands. And the key aspect to this is all of the brands / strains, etc., are filling into a house. Do you want to know what the name of that house is? Yeah, that's Jokes Up. A house of brands. So if you look around Instagram, you will see tons of cannabis brands that have in their Instagram bio, powered by Jokes Up. All of these sub-brands help make the house, that house being Jokes Up. And it's getting bigger and bigger. Imagine if you could buy your own strain and have it be a collaboration with the Cookies brand. Right? It sounds like something that would never happen, and that's definitely true. But that's what you can do with Jokes Up, and it's honestly fucking brilliant of them. Or is it? You can pay Jokes Up to build you out a custom strain, meaning a custom brand, and it will be in collaboration with Jokes Up. And this is where another part owner or main member of Jokes Up comes into the story, that being Jay Paid. See, this high design video of Runtz and Jokes Up has taken me a super long time because I haven't talked to anyone from Jokes Up, and pretty much this has been all from analyzing and observing Runtz and Jokes Up on social media / hearing other things from people I know. A lot of different ways I've researched, let's just say that. So while I'm assuming multiple other members of Jokes Up are doing this, I've just happened to really only see Jay Paid on Instagram begin to sell these custom strains.
Ain't nobody doing what the fuck we got going on over here, bro.
Hey, you the true definition of someone that followed the blueprint and took it to the next level, bro. Keep going, bro. You killing this shit, bro. Salute. My hat's off to you.
If niggas in New York right now, go get you a paid genetic stamp. If not, you fucking, man, I'm telling you, you could be right here. You be doing this.
Come on.
You could be doing this shit right here with us.
Let's go, bro. What you on? You straight?
I'm at the crib, bro, working. I just left the plaza a little while ago. I'm over here working my ass off, bro. I got a date, by the way. November 15th, nigga, we going fucking public with this NASA merch shit.
Hey!
So from now on, nigga, I'm dropping a 5-part series to this fucking animation cartoon shit. I'm dropping once a week, a 5-minute segment every week. From now until November 15th, I'm gonna hit y'all niggas with a new promo every motherfucking Friday or some shit. I'm gonna figure out a date. We gonna drop this shit.
Man, beat that shit up, bro. You see the comments, they want that lucky NASA.
That's what we doing. Oh my fucking god, niggas! Oh no, we gotta. Yeah. Guess who's under that astronaut helmet, nigga? Lucky.
Come on, let's go, bruh. Let's go crazy.
I love you to death, my nigga. Be safe out there. Move smooth.
Love you more, bro. I'm gonna see you soon.
Yep.
All right, peace. Man, if y'all ain't following NASA, follow NASA Jokes Up. It's the best thing smoking. Smoking this shit by the pound. If you ain't got it, go get it. If you ain't following, go follow it. NASA Jokes Up.
So like I said, Jokes Up is selling custom genetics, but more so selling people their own sub-brand for tens of thousands of dollars. That also continues to advertise Jokes Up and spread the Jokes Up brand name and influence. Is that brilliant or stupid? I would say brilliant on their part, but long term, it could pose some problems. Like I said earlier, Jokes Up is definitely spreading the name all across the country, but there's a chance that could lead to an oversaturation of the brand. But who knows at this point? It's really hard to say. They could be, completely fine. Just showing the other side of the argument, really. Now, I want to make a point to say that personally, I think that creating a brand on the name of a strain is not the smartest idea at this current time. One of the most valuable things you could build in the cannabis industry right now is brand loyalty. Brand loyalty pretty much equates to brand equity, and brand equity is where the potential to create generational wealth is. So you don't want customers coming to buy a product of a specific strain they like from you, but rather them to come to you to buy a product of any of your strains that you have. You want customers loyal to the brand, not the strain. Now, that's not to say that it's impossible to make a brand name after a strain bigger than the strain itself. I mean, look at cookies now. People don't just buy cookies products because all of the strains are GSC. They buy products from cookies because they like the products and they also identify with the brand's ideals and what it represents. And Runts has now become similar to cookies, where people want all types of products from Runts, not just the strain. Now, I want to highlight that in general, Young LB has implemented the strategy of leveraging hip-hop into cannabis, just like Berner has done. By the way, if you haven't seen the high design episode I did on Berner and the Cookies Cannabis Empire, I highly recommend you check it out. But like I said in that Berner episode, leverage the music into cannabis and the cannabis into music. Young LB has leveraged cannabis into his career. For example, in 2019, Jokes Up did a V-Lone Runts collab in New York. In this video you are seeing on the screen, you can see Young LB with Lil Baby, Gunna, and other famous rappers. Young LB has been able to work with artists like Jim Jones, Trippie Redd, and Uncle Murda, and I think Runts has been a big reason why. Runts got Jokes Up and Young LB in the door. Recently, Jokes Up opened up their own store/plaza in downtown Los Angeles. When it comes to the future of Jokes Up, I think we will see them start to open more stores and new markets, or at least I would recommend them do that. In a lot of ways, Runts being 50% owned by Cookies is extremely beneficial for Young LB and Jokes Up because it allows Runts to be sold all over the country legally via Cookie stores, as well as it keeps the door open for other Jokes Up brands. Long term though, I really think if Jokes Up wants to be a really massive company, they need to expand their retail presence either through licensing deals or outright owning stores in different markets, like I said. Regardless, being so reliant on Cookies will eventually stunt their potential growth. There are rumors that there have been some potential problems going on between Cookies and some of the other owners of the Runtz brand, potentially a lawsuit. I will leave it at that. Regardless though, being so reliant on Cookies is not the best option long term. But the fact is, we are in the era of Runtz, where the brand is so sought after, it has become extremely common to see fake Runtz packaging, or fake Runtz genetics. In the cannabis industry, if people are selling fake packaging of your brand, then well, your brand is popping. And Jokes Up is growing by the day. With so many sub-brands or Jokes Up connected brands, it's going to be fascinating to see how Jokes Up does in the coming future. Shouts out to Young LB, Nick, Raybama, JPay, Dollas Up Nero, and the whole Runtz/Jokes Up team. And shout out to Berner and Cookies. If you would like to support this series, you can go to www.lmc.news/lmc-apparel, and you can cop some high design merch, apparel. We got some really dope collabs coming. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of High Design. Make sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment down below. Who should we cover next? Anyways, this is LMC, signing out.